Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today we are going to be going through the tier list for the most efficient relic farming domains that you guys can farm in honkaistarrail, ranging from all of the Cavern of Corrosion 4-piece as well as the Planar 2-piece, right? So without further ado, let's get into today's content. Subscribe! Okay, we're just gonna let honkaistarrail play in the background because as we know by now, honkaistarrail is basically a subway surface at this point. Honkaistarrail is basically a subway surface and you can't convince me otherwise. Alright, so first of all, on the list, we're just gonna rank them by both, right? Because you can't farm one domain without the other domain. So it's gonna be by both. So for the Jingyuan set, it comes with the Knight set, right? So this is horrendous value. Absolutely horrendous. Nobody should be farming this set in 2024, right? Literally, no one should be farming this. So please do not farm this set, right? So very straightforward. I don't really think it needs much explanation, right? Almost every single crit DPS, including lightning DPS, they prefer a 4-piece quantum for most of the time, especially with all of the defense that we have right nowadays, right? We have Pella, we have Rame E1, we have Silver Wolf, we have Sparkles E2, right? A lot of defense nowadays. So quantum 4-piece is typically the universal crit DPS. For lightning DPS, like your Kafka, she's using the DOT set. For Jingyuan, he's using the 4-piece follow-up. So nobody's in this set. Absolute set, so skip. Next set, we do have the physical set with the thief set, I believe, right? So it's gonna be a physical and thief set. I feel like this is also really bad, but it's slightly better than this. So I'm just gonna be ranking them above here. It's slightly better. Number one, because thief set, you do get quite a little bit of this from the Echoes of War if you're still farming that on a daily basis. 4-piece physical is just so because the only thing it provides is attack buff. No. Like the attack buff is just really bad. So like if anyone ever wanted to use it, it's usually a 2+2. For example, if you are running like Clara, you run a 2-piece physical with a 2-piece follow-up. That's pretty much it. 4-piece thief, it's kind of alright, right? Break Effect Silver Wolf can run this, Rame can run this, but then again we have the new break set as well, so it's not even that insane anymore, and we do get this for free when you farm Echoes of War. So genuinely also really bad value, right? So next set is gonna be the Eagle 4-piece and the Hunter 4-piece, right? Okay, this set for free to place, I wouldn't recommend. But that being said, Eagle 4-piece is incredibly good. In fact, I would dare say Eagle 4-piece is much better than Hackerspace 4-piece. Because this Eagle 4-piece, I'm not sure if you guys did the other day, I did a calculation the other day. The 4-piece effect of 25% action value advance is equivalent to roughly 17 speed. I did a calculation the other day. Whereas your Hackerspace 4-piece is just like really bad, right? So for the most part, this is gonna provide a lot more value if you want your DPS to hit the speed thresholds, right? Because you minus off 2,500. If you guys want to find out how action value speed tuning work, check out my video over here. Editor-san, please add in the speed cycle over here, right? So that's gonna be that. So Eagle 4-piece is honestly really good. And in fact, if I wasn't that particular about, okay, if I was really particular about zero cycling, I would definitely farm this. In the entirety of CN community, almost every single CN zero cycles, like insane CN zero cycles, their supports are running Eagle 4-piece because it's just that good. Unfortunately, Hunter 4-piece is kind of mid. Hunter 4-piece is kind of mid because Jing Liu doesn't really like this, right? Most of the time, I just rather run her as 4-piece quantum since especially if you have E1 Rame, that is kind of like a no debate, and her signature icon because defense rate second can stack on really high. Yanqing is like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could run this on Yanqing and Herta, but most of the time you can still just run 4-piece quantum and they get the job done, right? So that's my take on this. Okay, next set is gonna be the Firesmith and Banditry. This piece is a hot piece of as well. In fact, I would dare say it's even worse than physical and thief, because at least thief is really good, right? So there's in between here. This two, Firesmith is the worst 4-piece known to mankind, right? No other DPS 4-piece is worse than this Firesmith 4-piece, right? It serves zero purpose, right? When it comes to it's so gosh darn bad, right? So just don't farm this. 4-piece Banditry is not bad. In fact, it does provide quite a high amount of crit value. Unfortunately, it's only limited to imaginary broken state, right? So that's the difference between this, right? The reason why 4-piece quantum is so good and so universal is that defense shred is a universal multiplier, and the secondary effect is as long as they have quantum weakness, they are good to go. Whereas for this set, if the set effect was if the enemy has imaginary weakness, okay, then honestly this set can be pretty good as well because it's quite a lot of crit value. But because you need them to be imprisoned, you either run them with Weld or you need to break them. So the uptime on this is really not that high. So at the end of the day, the damage DPS you get from like the 4-piece from both of it is just really not that great. So now, the king of them all, Quantum 4-piece, like Genius 4-piece and Wuthering 4-piece. This is, in my opinion, insane value. Quantum 4-piece, especially when you want to talk about value, right? When I talk about value for free-to-play, if you can only farm one domain for the rest of your life, this is going to be it. Assuming you are farming for your normal crit DPS, not inclusive of DOT, not inclusive of your follow-up attackers, right? This is pretty much going to be, and even for your follow-up attackers like our Topaz and Jingyuan, defense strat is also kind of a good thing, right? Defense strat itself as a multiplier is just so insane that every single crit DPS you can run this. If you guys seen some of my Zero Cycle videos, almost all the time, when I'm doing a Zero Cycle, they are running the exact same set, which is the Quantum 4-piece. The only difference is sometimes I run the crit rate chest or the crit damage chest. Every single set is, I'm just running 4-piece. It's just so universal, right? So really, really good. And if you get a really insane 4-piece Quantum, your DPS is pretty much good to go. Wuthering 4-piece, not to say this is a good set, because honestly, nobody really uses this, but it just does make your supports a little bit tankier, especially a 4-piece effect, not the 2-piece effect. And having decent subsets on this, like speed rolls, all that kind of stuff, it's usable, right? It's probably not as universal as Hackerspace and Longevous, especially Hackerspace 2-piece. Hackerspace 2-piece is really, really good, right? But because of how universal this is, I always place this in the insane value personally, right? So that is gonna be that. Passerby and Musketeer, I would say this is pretty decent value. Pretty decent, good value in fact, good value. Because 2-piece outgoing healing is always going to be good, especially free to play. If your healers are not that great, this is always going to be good. 2-piece attack is also a pretty good set, and 4-piece Musketeer is also quite nice because you do get attack and speed buff. And the base attack is kind of whatever, but it's still pretty good, right? So I would say this is kind of yeah, it's pretty up there. It's pretty up there in terms of versatility, universal effects, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll praise it a good value. Now, Hackerspace and Longevous, I would say this is a very, very close second. I would put them in insane value, but I don't really want to like overcrowd it. So I'll put them at the tip top of good value because these two sets, they are pretty good for your supports and your sustains, right? 2-piece HP, 2-piece speed, really, really good. But their performance is not exactly very good for DPS unless you are a Blade main. If you're a Blade main, then this is insane value, right? So Blade main, insane value. If you're not a Blade main, it is kind of mad, even though you can just run off-piece, right? You can just run a 2-piece speed, 2-piece HP, just run an off-piece and just find like insane crit values. But not having the defense strat from Quantum, it's gonna hurt quite a bit. Like the additional 10% or even 20% defense reduction is gonna hurt quite a bit. I would say, if in the future, we get some kind of a DPS, a debuffer, that gives us like insane defense strat to the point where Quantum 4-piece effect is no longer needed, then I will change this tier list. But as of now, that's not happening. So this is pretty much almost on the top of insane value, but other than that, I just dropped it here. Really, really good as well. But if you can only farm one, like if you can only farm one, I'll farm this, right? So that's that. Okay, DOT and follow-up. This is also insane value, but if and only if you are maining your follow-up attackers and DOT units. Because these two, they work hand in hand, right? And the 2-piece DOT here is an excellent, excellent rainbow. It's basically Musketeer, same effect as 2-piece. So you can give this to your tier unit, you can give this to your any DPS, and even if you roll double crit.
Something to say about much better tier list.
What did I miss? What did I miss, Sarah?
Unbeknownst to himself, our streamer opened the wrong tier list. But be not afraid, we will return with a fresh, updated one in a second. And yes, I'm shirtless if you didn't notice.
PS is the main name of the game, right? Nobody gets impressed with your insane support builds. Supports and sustains, they're generally quite easy to build. So I would much rather have a higher emphasis on an insane DPS piece. So that's why I place this tool as a pretty universal DPS, if I could say that, right? Anyways, Path of Darkness, DOT set, insane. Follow-up set, insane. And this is pretty much outclasses Quantum in every way possible if you're a DOT main. And not to mention, having a 2-piece, oh my god, I can't, 2-piece prisoner, you can give them crit values, you can even give them speed and defense values, because it's just such a universal 2-piece, right? So, very, very universal Path of Darkness, and I would highly recommend this if you're going to be doing the follow-up attack and a DOT domain, right? Finally, for our Path of Dream, like the new set, I would say this is not that great because it's really, really niche. If you're not going to be putting for Archon, it's really, really niche. I'll place this at somewhere around here. Okay, better than physical, definitely. Our place is a very, very niche set, but if you really, really want to like make Archon really, really good, I would recommend this. Doctor ratio also works pretty well. Weld, maybe. Okay, Weld, Doctor ratio, Archon, right? If you're Weld, Doctor ratio, Archon, this will be pretty good. But it's just that the 4-piece Watchmaker is not that great because it's break effect. Only one that I can actually use this is basically Runmei. Steel Wolf can't use this. Misha can't use this. Xue Yi can't use this. Yeah, okay, I guess R-Star, break effect R-Star could kind of use this, but it's kind of niche as well. So I'll place this here in terms of niche. But if you really want to main Archon, then you have no choice. You have to farm this, right? So that is that for our paths in terms of the Cavern of Corrosions, right? So that's Cavern of Corrosions. Now for Similar Universe, I think it's very, very straightforward. As of this day and age, nobody should be farming for World 3. Nobody should be farming for World 3. Just drop it down. Nobody should be farming this, so that's gonna be that. And World 5, this is the absolute most dog shit of the dog shit. This is if there was shit, this is worse than shit, right? This is the absolute, just don't farm this. Right? Celestial Differentiator is the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, and literally no one is this, so just don't farm this. World 4 is kinda niche, but I will argue this is also really, really bad. Nobody should be farming World 4 because how do I make this? Yeah, nobody should be farming World 4 as well. It's just really, really bad. Because the break set is just super niche. Even break effect Ramen doesn't use the break set because most of the time you run broken kill or like the Panic set. Von Weg is kind of good if you're trying to do for some like zero cycle shenanigans. But the thing with Von Weg is that the actual very advanced of Von Weg, it only lasts for the first wave when you enter the battle, which means when you go to the wave 2, it doesn't even work anymore. So it's also really not that great for this. And even if okay, think about it, right? For zero cyclists, if you want a zero cycle, having 3 turns on wave 2 is way more important than having 3 turns on wave 1. Because most of the time, wave 1, your energy is almost full. So there's quite a good chance you can clear wave 1 quite easily. Having the 3 actions on wave 2 is much more important, and Von Weg can't save you, right? So World 4 also not that great. But it does have some niche in there, but it's just not that great, right? So 3 and 5 just don't farm this, right? World 6. Okay, World 6 is let me cook on this a little bit. World 6 has been a very, very hot topic. On one hand, Balorborg is completely useless. So you are basically farming this road with 50% stamina efficiency. In terms of value, it's just not gonna be up there, right? I wouldn't place this anywhere higher than B. But Sao Soto is starting to see quite a lot of use recently. Argenti, Jingyuan, Doctor Ratio, Topaz, Herta, Himeko, Serval to a certain extent because she spams the ultimate, Clara, Xue Yi, yeah, Xue Yi. So basically we have like, out of like, I feel like 20 over DPS units, almost half of them now can kind of use Sao Soto as their best in slot. Honestly, it's not that bad because quite a lot of DPS uses, but my counter argument for players that think that World 6 is like super giga good, my counter argument, DPS, they come and go, right? Right now we're seeing a influx of follow-up attackers and units that use ultimate damage. For now, what's stopping MiHoYo from releasing DPS that are not follow-up attackers and not ultimate damage dealers in the future, right? So even though for now it looks like Sao Soto covers a lot of DPS, but in the future, if they release more units that are not follow-up attack focused and ultimate, and you don't wanna like not use them, then you will feel that your energy is kind of wasted in World 6. Then you will wish that you would have found either World 7 or World 8, because at least for these two roads, the support set is pretty good. Q and Penicani, they are really good support sets. Glamour is kind of universal. Routine Arena, I think it generally works kind of well with like almost every single crit DPS. So because of that, oh, and Glamour works with all your DOTs, right? So when that day happens, you would kind of wish that maybe you could have spent a little bit more stamina on World 7 World 8, assuming that they don't release even more broken 2-piece in the future, right? So for that, I will give this a B. Better than Ego in my opinion. I'll give this a B. But a better alternative of not farming World 6 is using your Relic Fragments. Using your Relic Fragments and using it on Sao Soto is, in my opinion, the best way to use your relic fragments. Like, bar none. Because Soto itself is genuinely a very good set. I'm not talking about your resins. Your resins, you use them for either your ER rope, your crit damage chest, all that kind of stuff. That's your resins, right? I'm talking about the fragments. You get like hundreds and hundreds per patch anyways. I will just dump them into Soto 2. World 7, World 8, I feel like these two, they are the undisputed universal. But if I can only pick one for S tier, I would say World 8. And World 7 is closely behind. Oops. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. The reason why I say this is because for World 8, you can run Glamour with your DOTs, which is their intended purposes. You can also run Glamour with your crit DPS. In fact, some of the crit DPS we have now, such as Scylla, their best in slot is literally Glamour. Although if you want to run Scylla on Glamour, you need really good crit value because you're losing the 8% crit rate, right? If you manage to get good crit value, Glamour can honestly be just used as a kind of universal crit piece, assuming you get a good ratio, right? So that's gonna be for Glamour. World 7, Q is also pretty universal, but it's just not as comfy, because you do need 30% effect rest, whereas for your Pinnacle, it's just like free damage from everybody, right? But I will say that 10% crit damage is very universal, and sometimes the 30% effect rest might save you from a crowd control here and there, right? So, Routine Arena, I feel like it just goes with like almost every single crit DPS, bar the full up attackers. So almost everybody here can use Routine Arena. So to wrap it up, everything in D tier, forget about it. Everything in C tier, it has some niche users. Everything in B tier also has some niche users, but it does have a little bit more generic option. A tier is really, you can consider farming this. I don't think there's a very significant difference between A tier and S tier. They're both kind of the same, but for free to play should focus on the S tier, because I feel like for Mileage, if you only found one domain for the rest of your life, then it's gonna be these domains, right? Either this or this, depending which of the DPS you use, and then this is pretty much the most universal domain for free to play, right? So yeah, with that, we have come to the end of today's content with regards to the Relic farming efficiency tier list, right? If you guys want to engage in any further discussions, let me know in the comments down below, or hop on to my Discord at discord.gg/Poke. We have a very active community talking about Honkai Star on a daily basis, right? If you want to check out my stream next on twitch.tv/MrPokke as well, also on YouTube. I'll be streaming live every single day. Schedule will be updated on Discord. And that is pretty much all we have for today. All the best for your Relic rolls, all the best for your gacha pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. I genuinely cannot believe this shit. I genuinely cannot believe this shit. I genuinely cannot believe this shit, guys. Did I say how I genuinely cannot believe this shit? I genuinely cannot believe this shit, guys.